When your life is feeling grim and chances aren't more than slim, revive your vim at the Cantina. Here the lights are nicely dim, though someone might just on a whim cut off a limb at the Cantina. I bet there's been a bar that's cleaner and serener, in a town that's much less meaner, on a world that's grown more greener. Still I say you've seldom seen a spot that's keener. So when you're in the outer rim and want a place that's not too prim, fill to your brim at the Cantina.
Hello there. Come here, my little friend. Don't be afraid. Rather, don't be afraid of me. We do all have a great deal to be concerned about these days. The Anorak virus pandemic rages across the galaxy. Coruscant and the other core worlds have been decimated, and now it's come even here to the systems of the Outer Rim. By order of the Imperial Department of Epidemic Prevention, the entire planet of Tatooine is on lockdown. The general lawlessness here has some treating the order as a mere suggestion. They go out and about pursuing various forms of self-interest. Have you found yourself craving the outdoors and resenting limits on your freedom? I know I have. Many others stay mainly indoors, even in the absence of official enforcement. For them, self-preservation is the priority. Are you spending most of your time at home, isolated from others? It's difficult, isn't it? Of course, some things do stay the same. Mos Eisley Spaceport is, for now, an only slightly less wretched hive of scum and villainy. Fortunately for many, taverns are considered essential businesses for helping the populace get through the plague. Only 4 customers allowed at once, however, only once a day per customer, and just for a few short moments to have a drink, all while following the recommended minimum social distancing of 2 Imperial Standard meters. A small amount of interaction, to be sure, but it does provide a welcome respite from the isolation that has come to define our lives during the pandemic. Even I choose to come occasionally to the Cantina, where everybody knows my name. Good afternoon, everybody.
Ben!
I'm Ben Kenobi. Originally Obi-Wan Kenobi, but I prefer people call me Ben. I've lived alone in the Jundland Wastes for a long time. A long time. Frankly, it was getting old. I may be knowledgeable of the Force, the energy field created by all living things that surrounds us and penetrates us, that binds the galaxy together. But at some point, even an old Jedi such as myself could stand some binding together with others in a bit of conversation. And I'm feeling that now more than ever. After all, solitude chosen willingly is rather different from solitude thrust upon you. Unfortunately, even now, there's always someone at the Cantina. People I know regularly pass through, and sometimes I make new friends. Air high five, Walrus Man. Did you have a special place you could go to talk to a friend before all of this happened? Do you miss that place? Well, you're always welcome here, and you've always got a friend in me. Just remember, 4 customer limit for now. Normally, as a Jedi, I like to keep a clear mind, but these are trying times that bring up all sorts of feelings in all of us. Do you ever want to have a nice, stiff drink as a way of coping through a difficult time? How are you coping with social distancing? Do you feel anxiety? Do you feel sadness? Perhaps you are fearful or feeling anger? A wise teacher of mine once said that fear is the path to the dark side of the Force. Fear leads to anger. Anger leads to hate. Hate leads to suffering. I believe these things to be true, and yet I also believe that fear and anger are very understandable things to feel in this truly strange situation. And it is a strange situation in different ways for different people. Snaggletooth, how do you feel about the pandemic?
Oh, what a terrible natural disaster. I think the measures we're taking to flatten the curve are sensible. Painful, but far less than the pain there'd be if the virus were left unchecked.
I can see why you'd feel that way. And Hammerhead, what do you think?
I think this plague is the galaxy's response to a way of life that has dishonored the way that natural systems function.
As a Jedi who understands the need for balance in the Force, I can see what you mean. And what's your take, Greedo?
Perhaps the virus was manufactured by the government or by businesses. Or perhaps it is not even real. Maybe the only thing that has been manufactured is a story. Either way, I think this is all merely an opportunity for someone to exert control over the people of the galaxy.
Certainly the Empire and any number of crime and business syndicates are quite interested in consolidating their power, and they are known to have been willing to hurt those who stand in their way. It is a confusing time indeed, isn't it, my friend? Still, no matter what is true about the virus, and no matter what differences we have in our perspectives, some things nevertheless do bind us all together. We all need freedom from control and freedom from disease.
Yes.
We all need connection and safety. And we are all experiencing a profound lack of these things right now. And so we are all feeling many unpleasant feelings, aren't we? I believe that, as with so much in our lives, these things are complicated. And when we would prefer simple answers but none are to be found, I believe that, deep inside, we all feel a great uncertainty about the future, as if things may never be the same as they were before. That same teacher of mine also wisely recognized that the future is impossible to see. Do you feel uncertain? Do you believe or hope that things will end up better than they were? Or worse? Or perhaps simply different? Either way, the worlds that were familiar to us are likely gone, and that is a loss. And when we lose things, we feel fear and anger and sadness. I think we can allow ourselves to feel those things. Do you believe you're allowed to feel those things? Do you feel allowed to feel those things? Perhaps the path to the dark side comes not merely from having fear, but from turning away from it. Perhaps we need to feel our fear, our anger, our sadness, and our grief for the things we've lost. Perhaps getting through those feelings, grieving our losses, will help us get through the distancing, the isolation, and the changes that are happening around us. If we can do this for ourselves, and if we can help others to do the same, perhaps we will not feel so alone. Would you like to help me try? I'm glad. My mind is on some of the things we're missing. Why don't I sing a song for you about them? The people you care for, a bar when work was done, a gathering in the square each time a battle had been won. A cup of Buck Stars Joe at most any time of day. It seems a long time ago and far, far away.
You miss your routine, but it's gone, you're in a rut. You'd exercise or clean if you weren't sluggish as a hut. I'll wander to and fro, no, for now inside you stay. It seems a long time ago and far, far away. It's maddening and saddening. It's fine if you feel vexed. The best you'll do is make it through each little now that's next. There's no way to tell how long distancing will last. We cry and we rebel, still it's our present, not yet past. With courage, strength, and patience, I know someday we'll say it seems a long time ago and far, far away.
Well, I'm feeling a little bit better, and a little bit worse. But at least I do feel like we may understand each other a little better now. I'm so glad we had this time together. I look forward to seeing you again the next time I visit the Cantina. Who knows who else you and I might get to talk with. In the meantime, may the Force be with you, always.